Hello, Leisure Care, and happy 50th anniversary to everyone in the room. Thank you so much for allowing me to keep my promise that Leisure Care was a company that offered the very brightest and most talented leaders in this industry. And to our senior executives, thank you for allowing me a platform so that I can live out my dream, my career, my life under an organization that I'm very proud of. I think it's all started back when I was first introduced to leisure care back in the early 90s when I actually saw a spread of Dan Madsen and Terry Ricio being interviewed in a senior executive magazine. And I thought, what an amazing message that they were sending out to the world in regards to guest services and their plans for building in my market. I applied as the management associate, eventually getting the role as general manager at the age of 26. I remember Dan flipping me the keys and saying, don't mess it up. Not necessarily in those words, but I got the point. And I learned that Leisure Care is a company that said what it meant and meant what it said. And when Andy Gomes was actually my operations director, and I was still learning the ropes as a general manager, and he was going toe to toe with community care licensing as they wanted to remove any washers and dryers and stoves from our future residents' apartments. And not only did he go toe to toe, but he won. And I was so actually taken back because I just spent 6 months removing stoves, washers, and dryers from residents at another organization against their will. And I thought, what an amazing organization and philosophy. And absolutely fell in love with guest services after 13 years of service. Called Dan Madsen and said, I'm ready for a new challenge. And he said, get over here in Seattle and try this guest services thing out. I absolutely fell in love with one of our signature programs. Hopefully, you've heard me talk about it before. If not, brace yourself. It's Travel by Leisure Care. And this is our opportunity to make an impact, not just in our families and in our residents, but in the world. You see this display, this slide that I'm showing today. I show every single week in our presentations, but you might not know the story behind a lot of these photos. The story that really stands out is the story of Hal Goldie. It was actually featured in the famous photo of General Douglas MacArthur as he arrives on Red Beach in the Philippines in '44. He actually joined a Travel by Leisure Care adventure wanting to go to Pearl Harbor, which is an active base. And we unfortunately found out when we got there that they actually didn't allow wheelchairs because it is an active base in a national park. But just like Leisure Care is accustomed to advocating for people, Dan gave me the thumbs up, and we went for it and fought and won. And because of Leisure Care, because of our philosophy, because of Travel by Leisure Care's adventure there, we were able to advocate and win. And now Pearl Harbor has changed its policy and will not only allow wheelchairs, but facilitate and making wheelchairs accessible for those that are truly deserving. But that's just one story in 25 years that has allowed me, just humbled me to represent such an amazing company and such an amazing group of people. So thank you. I'm proud to wear our logo on my chest. And it's all because of you. Happy 50th anniversary, everyone.